Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lex. I'm the Face Pine Seriously Salem, and this handsome demon right here is Salem, my Doberman mix. This week's video is going to be a little bit different. I am about to prep all of the boys' mental stimulation for the week, so I decided why not sit down and chat with you guys about why mental stimulation can be such an amazing thing to do for your dogs and show you the different things that I do. So let's get to it. Thanks for your help. So Salem got his payment and he ran. So he's gonna go enjoy his carrot and I'm gonna do this video solo, which is very weird. I usually have one of the boys with me, but that's fine. So like I said, this is gonna be a mental stimulation fill up, this week's engagement toys type of thing. I'm gonna show you guys what I do with 3 separate mental stimulation things for them. I do these usually once a week or once every other week. I do all safe, like dog safe options, dog foods, things like that. I'm going to show you each category of like each thing. Like I have a slow feeder bowl for each of them that I fill up. I have 12-inch beef tracheas that I stuff, and then I have Kongs that I stuff also. I put all of this stuff in the freezer for at least 24 hours before giving it to them because it slows them down even more. So they have to work harder for it, which is more mentally draining and exhausting for them. So definitely consider throwing your mental stimulation in your freezer to make this a longer process and more enjoyable and tiring for them. So enrichment like this is mentally draining for your dog. It's really good for them. It reduces stress, it tires them out. If you live somewhere that has a really hot climate like I do, we live in Vegas, and in the summer we can hit days where it's like 115 degrees outside. It's just not safe to take them on walks during the day. And when that happens, I like to have stuff in my freezer where I can just bring it out and it gives them 20 minutes to 45 minutes of something that they enjoy doing, but is also tiring for them. And like I said, it reduces stress, it drains their energy, and it has them mentally work for their food and scavenge. So it's very good for them. I always recommend everybody do some kind of engagement, toys, or mental stimulation with their dogs at least one time a week. So like I said, I do Kongs as one of them, and I like to stick them in something that holds them upright so when I freeze them, they don't leak everywhere. This week, I'm going to be doing some bananas, peanut butter that has no sugar added. Make sure if you get peanut butter that has sugar added, that it has no xylitol in it. That is very toxic to dogs. They cannot have it. Make sure you're checking ingredients. I'm also gonna toss some carrots in there for a crunch and then some hot water just to make it easier to mix up and get into the Kongs. And then next up, I have the 12-inch beef tracheas. I buy this at PetSmart, or you can get them on Chewy. I like to freeze these with some stuffing. So I use about 1/4 of a can of wet food, a little bit of broth. I add some random vegetables and fruits. Today I have carrots and apples, so I'm gonna add some little pieces in there, and then I only stuff them about halfway. Like I don't get the stuffing all the way in the middle when they're this big, but it also just gives them something to try to get out while they can still eat this entire thing. It's just, it slows them down and gives them more to do and work with. And then lastly, they each have an old slow feeder bowl. So I'm going to use the other part of this can of wet food, some more broth, some hot water. I'm gonna mix these little raw boost mixers and the rest of that apple and carrot into these. And then all of this stuff will go into the freezer for about 24 hours. I'm gonna show you guys in a sped up version how I do all of this real quick, but I'm also wanting to express that if you are doing this for your dogs a few times a week, please take into account the extra calories your dogs are going to be getting. So like the day that my dogs get the slow feeder bowl, I will cut back some of their breakfast and dinner so they're not being overfed, or I'll supplement putting like their breakfast, like half of their breakfast with the slow feeder bowls so they're not getting too many extra calories so that they don't gain a bunch of weight. So make sure you're just taking into account that this is extra calories into your dog's diet. Okay, so these are the Kongs fully done. They have banana, peanut butter, hot water, and pieces of carrots. All done. Gonna go in the freezer for about 24 hours. Here are the 12-inch beef tracheas. They are full of a little bit of that wet food, some hot water, a little bit of broth, and then I stuck some carrots and apple pieces in there also. And these will just be one of their snacks on a certain day. I haven't decided yet. And then these are the slow feeder bowls. They have the other part of the can of wet food, broth, banana, apples, carrots, and a little bit of raw topper in it. So these will be the ones that I either mix one of their meals, like half of their meal into, or if I give them this, they will only get like half of their breakfast because this makes up a lot of the calories that they would be getting anyways. So to not overfeed them or give them too much, that when they get these, they'll have less breakfast that day. So I'm gonna take all of these out into my garage and pop them in my big deep freezer and let them go overnight at least. I will probably give them the slow feeder bowls tomorrow with their breakfast. But I'm gonna film throughout the week showing you guys them get one of these every day or every other day so you can see them enjoying them. And I will try to put timestamps on how long it takes them to finish each thing so you guys can see what freezing them does and that it does help them go longer and use their brain more. So I'll try to get that added for you guys. Okay, everything is in the freezer. The tracheas are right there, the Kongs, one of the bowls, one of the other bowls, and I will leave them in here for about 24 hours, and then the boys will get one of these tomorrow, and I will be back to show you when they're done. All right, it is the next day. So I am in my garage coming to get these bowls out of my freezer, and we're gonna give them those for breakfast. And as you can see, these are pretty frozen solid. The boys already got their half of their breakfast this morning, so they've already had their kibble. This is just gonna make up for the rest of their calories this morning since it's half of a can of wet food, some raw toppers, and different random things. Free. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I will check in and let you guys know how long this takes him. Free. And again, it's about 6:30 in the morning. I'll let you know how long this takes him. It has been about 20 minutes and he's making a good dent on it. Honestly, he's probably about halfway done. And it's been about 20 minutes with Sirius also, and he is also making a dent. I would say probably about halfway through. All right, it's about 7:10 and he is done. There's just a little bit of broth left in there, but overall it took him about 45 minutes. And Salem is also about done around the same time. So all in all, it took them about 45 minutes. If your dog is a messy eater like Salem, I suggest putting a towel under this, but I forgot to. Was that so yummy? So all in all, that took them around 40 minutes total to finish those, which is perfect. Just enough to be mentally draining, but not where they got bored. And I washed the bowls. They're all clean and ready for my next mental stimulation fill up in like a few days, maybe next week. All right, and now today is trachea day. They love these. They go a lot faster because they are mostly hollow minus like the filling that I did put into them. So these won't last them as long, but I will make sure I also include how long it takes for them to finish these as well. So I'm just gonna take these out and give them each one. I have them set up in a certain spot where they can enjoy these. I set him up with some blankets and towels to eat this because he is a messy eater. There you go, enjoy. Here you go. And that's about how much he has left after 15 minutes or so. He is almost done. So I would say these probably take around 20 minutes. You love it, huh? And Sirius decided he'd rather eat his in his kennel, so he's here eating it. But this is also about 15-20 minutes later. It is almost gone. They love these a lot. So altogether, I want to say it took them around 20 to 22 minutes in total to finish the tracheas. I didn't time it, I forgot. But yeah, those never take super long because they are mostly hollow on the inside, but they're still something they love. It cleans their teeth and it gives them some form of enrichment and mental stimulation. and it is finally Kong day. They love these. They're gonna be very excited, and I am curious to see how long these ones will last because I didn't do too much solid stuff in it. It's more of like mushed up banana and stuff like that. I am gonna go set a timer when I give them these so I know exactly how long it takes them, and I will let you guys know. And as you all know, Salem is pretty messy, so I set him up in here with some towels on my bed because he prefers to eat his stuff by himself. So I will come back and check on him, but I am gonna set a timer now. And Mr. Sirius likes to eat his in his kennel away from everybody also. I think it's kind of like a comfort thing. And I'll be back to check in a bit. It's been about 45 minutes and Salem just has the very end of it left. So I think he's pretty much tired of it for now. So I will pop the rest of this in the freezer for him for later. Sometimes he gets over it a little bit faster than Sirius. So we're gonna call it a day after 45 minutes with the Kong. Sirius has had his about 45 minutes and he will finish his. So I want to say it takes about an hour total, and he does not get over it like Salem does. So he will finish his today while I put the rest of Salem's in the freezer for him. All right, guys, and that's pretty much it. I wanted to do this video this week a little bit different because I wanted to share something that is so important to me with my dogs. Enrichment and mental stimulation is something that I try to do heavily with them every single week. It seems to help Salem's anxiety a lot and Sirius's stress a lot. And I see a huge difference in the days that I do mental stimulation and enrichment with them versus the days that I don't. So I wanted to put this out there for those of you who might have dogs who are anxious or have a hard time on certain days. This could give you some different ideas to try with them, and maybe it will make a difference in their lives too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We upload every single Friday.